Hedera hbar. So I will be talking about the $250 million partnership that we recently got into with both the Hash Graph Association and the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia. I'm going to be telling you why this is important and what the plan will be for the next coming years, 5 years actually. We will also be having a look at the price action of both hbar and Source today, and I do have a few other updates in relation to earthlings.land and also from Bitco. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. And so the first thing that we're going to be having a look at is just a short clip of this hbar bull interview that we've had. And you'll see over here we have Kamal, who is the president of the Hash Graph Association. So just a little bit of a background, and we did actually have that partnership being announced roughly around about 2 to 3 weeks ago now. Essentially what's going to be happening is we will be having a deep tech venture studio, and in terms of the funding, how it's categorized, $50 million is going to be committed by the Hash Graph Association. That is what they're responsible for in order to bring to the table. However, the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia will be bringing in $200 million, and so that is 4 times of that. Now, in terms of the studio, it is going to be run by the Hash Graph Association, so we've got complete autonomy over there. And what will be happening is we will be supporting more than 500 companies throughout this whole 5-year plan. But in the first year, we will be starting off with 100 companies, and they are going to be targeting local Saudi companies and then expanding into international firms. And the ministry on that side of things, they're going to be helping those companies in order to get things like such as licenses and enabling those connections to government stakeholders. So not only businesses that are within the region and in the kingdom, but also for businesses that do want to set up there. And in terms of what the studio will provide, it will help with training and assistance, as well as product development and also compliance. So it is a pretty big deal. Now we're just going to have a look at this clip. I'm going to play a few minutes for you because Kamal really does provide more details about it.
And I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. We'd love to know everything about the investment fund you're starting with the Saudis. Can you explain that to us?
Indeed. So we recently have signed with Ministry of Investment in Saudi Arabia. So in a summary, the Hash Graph Association, in partnership with the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia, and also in collaboration with regional institutional investors, as well as with local business partners, we have partnered to launch something that we call the Hash Graph Deep Tech Venture Studio. The mission of the Hash Graph Deep Tech Venture Studio is to further enhance business dynamics, boost the professional environment, and support and enable local talent to build on Hedera Hash Graph. So in a summary, the Venture Studio, or the Hash Graph Deep Tech Venture Studio, will drive the build-up and deployment of more successful projects, support innovative startups, and foster the settlement of Hedera-powered companies within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and in a second step, help these companies to expand into the GCC region, basically Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Emirates, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the Sultanate of Oman. So in this context, the Deep Tech Venture Studio targets to invest in early stage startups all the way up to SMEs, small and mid-sized enterprises, across different industries, including real estate, healthcare, banking, finance, energy, oil and gas, etc. And as I mentioned earlier on, we do provide a 5-year program, or we will be structuring that over 5 years. So the second step would be then to support all the qualified and onboarded startups in taking their business to the next level by supporting them, for example, to be listed on the Saudi Stock Exchange, Tadawul, and also the listing on other global stock exchanges. So in a summary, that program is worth of $250 million, where the Hash Graph Association committed to secure 20%, basically $15 million in cash, but also in containing in-kind services, while the Ministry of Investment in Saudi Arabia, in partnership with other institutional investors and local business partners, will source 80%, namely $200 million, to be deployed through the Deep Tech Venture Studio out of Saudi Arabia.
And you've heard them from there in terms of the different industries. I mean, this might be a bit of a stretch, but we do know that Aramco, of course, is based in Saudi Arabia. It is government owned. But imagine if there was a connection through another connection, and if Hashgraph Association was actually able to get a hold of them. So they are one of the biggest producers of oil and gas, I believe. And again, it is something that is backed by the government. And of course, there is a lot of money in both oil and gas. So if the Hashgraph Association is able to get some sort of link, maybe not now, maybe in 5, 10 or 15 years time, it will definitely be a huge opportunity for them. And then we're just going to take a look at this last clip before we have a look at a brilliant update coming in from Earthlings.land.
As the underlying ledger for Web3 projects and initiatives out of the region.
Well, Kamal, I'd like to expand on this a little bit, and it's one thing that I'm interested in particular. A lot of what's been built within the Hedera ecosystem has been done with the hbar treasury. Here we have outside capital coming in to build within our ecosystem. Can you just kind of expand on the importance of that, bringing some of this outside capital within our ecosystem?
Indeed. We have been discussing this a lot within THE leadership team and also coordinating with Hedera LLC. What is the most sustainable model to establish a vibrant ecosystem for Hedera powered projects and also ensure a long-term partnerships for our entrepreneurs, startups, and also enterprises that are building Hedera Hashgraph. And one of the key outcomes that we have decided within THE team is we certainly need to tap into the institutional investors to provide an outlook for our grantees and our startups that we have supported. Basically, our mission within the Hashgraph Association, as I mentioned earlier on, is number one is to empower, enable, secure an initial funding to start your business by leveraging Hedera Hashgraph, and for scale-up funding, we within the Hashgraph Association, we do believe in partnering with third parties by opening the doors for third parties investors, be it family offices, ultra high net worth individuals, investment funds, or even launching strategic partnerships and investment agreements with sovereign wealth funds out of the Middle East, in Europe, or in Africa, to ensure that continuity for our qualified and our investees, let's say, within Hedera ecosystem.
No, Kamal, that is music to our ears.
And so that is a great deep dive coming in from there and a really good update from the Hashgraph Association. Now let's take a look at Earthlings.land and what they have brought to us. Over here, you can see as part of their Steam airdrops, this is the first one that they've currently done for hbar holders. It's now been completed. And it's very important because we have over here the 27,031 wallets were holding over $343 million in hbar. Of course, when it comes to adoption, you need to actually be holding hbar in general. And so as the airdrop is hbar weighted, each account received 1 Steam for every 172 hbar held during the snapshot. And so the total cost in order to transfer those Steam tokens to all of those wallets, which is obviously a very big job, was $2.70 thanks to Hedera. Again, guys, with our technology, we are able to really minimize these fees. So to put it in perspective, what it would have actually cost with these 27,000 wallets is essentially $27,000, and that is only at a $1 fee. Now imagine if the fees were, for example, let's say $5 or $10, it would be 5 times the amount. So we're talking over roughly around about $200,000 in order just to make that airdrop. And so this is the reason as to why Earthlings.land wanted to build on Hedera anyway. But not only that, in terms of other projects, it only goes to show the benefit that you will be receiving in terms of building on Hedera. So it's great to see that they've done their first airdrop, but we will be having a look at the next update for the second airdrop when it does come out. We are currently trading at 0.1965. We are down by 6.5% on the 1-day chart. For the 24-hour volume, we are down by 3.4%, and we are trading at $3.3 million. On the 7-day chart, we are up by 8%, so we're still doing pretty good. The only reason that we're down today is because of the fact that we went to 22 cents yesterday. So we just pulled back now by roughly around about 2 cents. But at the start of the week, we did pretty well at 0.1985. We were actually able to climb up all the way to 23 cents. That is a really good target that we hit. Now, that was with a volume of 3.65 million as well. And then we pretty much consolidated over here. We went to 22 cents, but this is where we had a bit of a retracement on the 2nd of March. So just yesterday, we've come down, but still we're pretty high. On the 1 month chart, we are up by a whopping 133 0.73%. If we do see more retracement, we could potentially be coming back to the 15-cent mark. But let's see if Source is actually able to hit 20 cents again. It really isn't that far from that. And all what we have been seeing now for the past month is just so much green for Source. I'm really happy in terms of the price action. Let's have a look at the price for hbar today. We are currently trading at 0.1111. We are down by 1.7% on the 1-day chart. For the 1 week chart, we are up by 3.6%. We started off the week at 10.4. We did actually hit a nice 12 cents at 0.122, and then we hit 0.119, just below 12 cents yesterday. On the 1 month chart, we are up by a great 59%, and you can see for the last 2 weeks of February, we were able to climb up from that 0.0825 mark all the way to 11 cents. We did hit 12 cents again. My price target for hbar is mainly to sit roughly around about 10 cents and consolidate there if we see some retracement, but the next price target, if it goes to the upside, is 15 cents. Guys, if you want daily Hedera hbar coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.